Luis, welcome on the show. Thank you for joining us.
¿Cómo estás, Alejandro? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, doing great. Thank you.
How's the whole COVID? How's the family? Staying safe?
Everybody's safe, thank God. Yeah, everybody good. So yes.
Good.
So far,
I'm
so
glad.
good.
I'm glad. So let's get to know you a little bit. Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Venezuela. And came to the U.S. in 90, oh God, 92, I think.
Yeah.
3 or something like that to go to college, to attend Berkeley College of Music. And then after that, I did my master's degree in Tufts University in Boston as well. So I ended up being like longer and longer and longer. And then eventually, stayed.
Cool. So so it seems like you've always had the passion for music.
Yeah, 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 always. Yeah.
So have you always, I'm assuming you know a lot of instruments, right?
Well, not a lot, but, I can handle of course, guitars, bass guitar, ukulele, any kind of string instrument, kind of like a guitar, a little bit of piano, keyboard, violin. I did violin for a while before I took up the guitar. So yeah, string instruments mainly. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, we're going to talk about Centertone in a little bit. But before we do
Okay.
that, I always like to ask our guests for Keybiscayne stories what they like about the Key, what makes the Key special for them. I know that you lived in the Key for a while, and then of course
Yeah.
Centertone has been in the Key for its entire time. Could you
Forever.
tell us a little bit?
Yes. Well, we opened up. I think it was 2000, end of 2003. I think that's when we kind of incorporated the business, all of that, and then we started taking students on 2004. I found here my first student.
I
I
do.
think it was, yes, you do. It was around, oh God, I lost it here. I think it was Luisa and Donnie.
No way, that was your first student.
I think Luisa was my first student at Centertone, the Andoni family, and they are great friends, of course, after all these years. And yeah, I think it was February, March 2004 or something like that. And we have been there at Les Planade Mall. This has been our location, always different locations. We already had 3 different locations there. Um, but yeah, so ever since, we just opened the doors. It's been going great. Yeah, it
That's
was very
awesome.
quick.
Well,
Yeah.
we were in a Zoom call with Luisa and another friend, and we were just chatting, and then she pulled out her guitar and started going. So I'm guessing that it's worked.
Yeah, no. Her story is great because when Luisa started, she didn't want to do the lessons. I mean, I don't know how old she was. She was probably, God. Do you remember how old were you in 2004? I think you guys are about the same age.
I would have to pull out the calculator, man.
You don't want to say, okay. I don't know. She was a kid, and then she had a bad experience apparently with music, so she didn't want to do it. And then she came. We had a guitar lesson, and that was it. It went great, and then she was happy with it, and over the years, actually, very soon after that, she started writing her own songs, and then she started singing her songs, and we did a couple of albums with her, and she was like, the first one, she was like 13, I think, like an album full of her songs, right? Like she recorded them, we were recording them at the studio, we helped her produce them, but she did them. She wrote her songs, and then she did another one later on. So yeah, I mean, like a great story. I mean, how better can it be, right? Your first student, and then she's like recording and doing stuff, and she's not she's not making a living as a musician. I think she's an attorney now.
Yes, she is.
But music is a big part of her life, right? And that's what music is all about, right? At the end of the day, it's something that you want to enjoy, that brings you joy, right? Happiness, and it's with you all the time, no matter what you do. So we had students that have become professional musicians that have made a living with music and gone on to have professional careers. And sorry, students that went to actually to my school, to Berkeley College of Music, a few actually that went on and graduated and are doing, having successful music careers. So there's a range in our school of, we've had everything. Students that have for just for the fun, because they really want to do it as a professional endeavor. So we help them with that. We're fairly open to any, whatever it is that you want to do with music. We try to help you with that.
Got it. I think it's great. I think it looks like a good stepping stone then to continue to further your music career.
Exactly.
So let's dive into Centertone. How did it start?
Well, my parents used to, they have like a summer house here in the Key for many years during mid 80s or so, and they used to have an apartment in Botanica in Key Colony, and
Some notes here, just in case.
and then we used to come to the Key as for vacation, when I was a teenager, and I don't know, down the road my parents ended up moving here. And they will always joke that, someday you will come to the Key and will you put together a music school or a business or something here. Well, yeah, sure. But actually, after many years, yeah, my brother did move to Miami, Rolando, you know him. Rolando moved to Miami, and then a few years later, he calls me, listen, why don't we do this? I'm like, okay. I was in Boston and living with my wife, Florencia, and then we came over to Miami, and that's how it started. When he came, he already had the place. He already did that part of the homework and put together he had a place this place in La Esplanade, like I'm telling you, very close to the post office. And then a couple of months later, about 3 months later or so, we were already going. So it was like that, word of mouth, pretty much. We barely advertised anything. We were just there, and people started coming very soon. Like I would say that as a business, it was kind of like breaking even within 6 months, which is very good for a business.
Yeah.
And then it took off. It took off, and it's been growing steadily, small, but steadily every single year, and to where we are now. So,
Does your brother also play instruments?
yeah, he's a drummer. He plays everything, almost. Well, he's a drummer primarily, but he plays drums and keyboards. He studied piano for a very long time before he took it.
So, if I have a kid and he wants to play guitar, what's that process? How does that work?
It's super hard. No. No, it's very simple. You just call us or send us an email, and pretty much, you tell us what you want. We find the space. We find a space that is convenient for you and us, and then pretty much most people does a weekly lesson. That's how it works. You can do more than once. Some people does.
Mm.
You can do different things as well. I mean, we range from the instrument lesson, right? Which means for us, guitar, bass guitar, ukulele, keyboards, piano, voice. We have a lot of voice students, drums. But we can also do music technology, teach you how to record your own music, do how to be a music producer, how to use GarageBand, for instance, which is a very popular music application.
I use it to edit this podcast.
And exactly, and a lot of people doesn't. You don't even have to be a musician, and you can actually get a lot done. Especially like if you're producing podcasts, it's a good idea to know how to use GarageBand.
Yeah.
For the sound part of your podcast, I mean. So we do that, and I think that I mentioned it already, but you don't have to be a professional musician. If you are beginning from scratch, that's okay with us. I mean, we're not gonna look at give you any trouble because you don't have any experience. Actually, for us, it's just the same if you have a lot of experience or none. We'll work with whatever you have. Okay. same thing talent wise. A lot of people, sometimes they feel that they're not talented for music, and then they have the desire to try, but they feel apprehensive because they don't feel that they are good at it. My experience, I probably in all these years that I've been teaching, I don't know if I should say how many, but over 30 or so, right? Yeah, definitely over 30. And I think in all these years, Alejandro, I only found like probably one or two people that I felt that were really like, oh my God, this is not going to work. Two, one or two. So, I mean, chances are that you're going to be fine. And these two cases were people that really, I don't know, I don't feel that they really wanted to do it. You have to want to do it. The one requisite I will say that if you want to learn music is if you have to have the desire and the excitement of doing it. If that's the case, whatever your level of talent is, you will learn and you will have fun with it. That's all I can say. So that's the beauty about music. You don't have to. I have students that started like at their 70s, late 70s. Okay, knowing
That was
nothing.
that was gonna be one of my questions. Like, what age ranges do you recommend?
And
The late 70s. That's
oh yeah. I have a few. I have had a few over the years. I have one that is a great story. I don't think his name is Bill. I don't think he will care if I say, mention his name. And Bill has been a student of mine for years. I think he started when he was probably in I think that I've known him for over 10 years now, definitely. And he already knew how to play a little bit of guitar. But the great thing is that last year he decided he wanted to attend Berklee College of Music, and I think he was pushing 80 now. Last year, and he did. So we spent about 2 years doing the online classes, which are very challenging. It's not like it's really, you have to really do the stuff, and the teachers, actually a lot of the teachers he had were my teachers when I was there, so it was very interesting. So I helping with the classes, and again, this guy is not a little kid. He's a kid in spirit, but I mean, he's somebody who was in his late 70s when he started doing this, and he did 2 years and he finished. He did like 8 classes, 8 semesters.
8 semesters, and you were there by his side helping.
Yeah, I don't want to say 8 semesters. Sorry, he did like 8 classes, but it's kind of like every course takes about 3 or 4 months to do. So yeah, it was a while. Yeah, it was a couple of years doing it, and I mean, you have no idea how much work he had to do, like every day, because he had classes all the time. He had to turn in like if you were in college. It wasn't that different from what I did. I was very surprised by it, and he pulled it off. So my point is that he showed me, as if I already didn't know, but he showed me, or he confirmed that if you want to do it, you can do it. So, for next stream to kids that start like at 5 or so, 5 is okay. We've had we have a couple 3-year-olds, but that's probably pushing it a little bit. Our approach is one-on-one. It's not like a mommy and thing. We don't have that. For us, it's more like it's a one-on-one lesson. And the reason why it's one-on-one is because it's the way you learn the most, definitely. When you go to music school, to college, an important part of your thing is your private lesson with your instructor, whatever it is, composition, guitar, whatever it is that you do, you always have private time during your regular college classes, right? So that part is essential, so you can have a group lesson sometimes, sure, but it's not the same. It's not the same at all. So that's why we focus on one-on-one, and it depends on the kid. Actually, there are some 5-year-olds that are really like these old minds already, these old spirits in a way, and they really focus and they can do it. It's just that. The minute they can really focus and pay attention, they can start doing it. And we have plenty of little kids like that, 5, 6, 7 definitely. Most definitely 7 years old can start doing it. So In addition to the private lesson, though, we have band lessons. You know, like kids are already ready to play, and they want to do it. We put bands together with them,
in a
like rock bands,
in a group.
like yeah, like yeah, drums, guitars, bass, singers. We put them all together. They have a weekly lesson in addition to their private lesson, and they play songs. The instructors help them to choose them. Sometimes they just say, I want to play that song, so we work on the songs that they want, and we put together concerts. Usually, well, for the first time in a long time, we had to cancel it this past year because of COVID, of course. We had to, no choice. And actually, we just resumed our group lessons about in January, just now. We were doing just private lessons during COVID, and we can talk about that too if you want. It was kind of crazy, but
Yeah.
thanks to this thing, thanks to Zoom, we managed to make the transition very successfully, very quickly. We probably lost about 35-40% of our students, which is a lot at the beginning. But then everybody started coming back. So I mean, we managed to. We've been very very fortunate during this whole mess to and thanks to the support of our students, mainly that they believe in this. They kept us going, and now around June we came back to the studio. So around June we went back to doing lessons in person. And right now we're kind of like split. A lot of people still feels comfortable with Zoom. They don't want to go in person, so they do it. We do it both ways. All teachers are doing it both ways. We have students that do Zoom, others that go there, and it's working. It's working very well. It's been very safe so far. We haven't had any COVID cases in the school.
Good.
Couple of scares, like everyone else,
Like everywhere, claro.
But yeah, everybody's been very responsible, and of course we take all the precautions that we can, cleaning up everything, everybody wearing their face coverings. We try to do it as safe as possible for the students. And in our cases, since the lessons are one-on-one, it's less of a risk, right? You don't have to be in physical contact with the student. We can keep distance, so it's been fine. It's been 6 months now, and 6 months. Yeah,
See.
Since June, right? About 6 months, and just now we started doing the band lesson. It is a group lesson, but we have the singers isolated with a special curtain that we have in the room, so they can see our kids, but they are separated. Everybody else is wearing a mask, and it's been fine too. It's been fine, and so I mean, like in that aspect of things that are affecting us, everyone now, I think we're doing just fine. And you were asking about Key Biscayne, right? Well, how more grateful can we be to Key Biscayne? We've been able to make our living for all these years here. And we've had the support from our students from day one, and in the moment of need, which was this past year, and it still is in a way, we still had the support of the students. Like a lot of people, some people lost their jobs, some people were struggling, and still, they kept their lessons and they kept going with us with the limitations that we had at the beginning. They kept it going, and they supported us, and thanks to that we were still here. So I mean, what can I say? For us, Key Biscayne is heaven.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So I know we're running out of time. What is your favorite part of Centertone?
Well, yeah, I was talking to my wife about that just yesterday. I don't know if it's Centertone. It's just that I do what I like. I love I mean. For me, going to work is fun. Is what I like doing. And so not a lot of people can say that. I have so many students who adults, of course, that take lessons and they love music. And sometimes tell me that, oh, Luis, I wish I could be doing this like you all day. Well, sometimes it gets tough, right? Sometimes but anyways, but it's true in a way. I really, really love doing what I do. And it's the same case for all the people that works at Centertone, for all the teachers and instructors, and for Rolando, my brother. We all love doing this. Um, the So I mean that makes a big difference, right? If you love what you're doing, you're gonna treat people around you well. You're gonna hopefully transmit that uh, energy,
Mm,
enthusiasm, right? And that's so important when you teach. It has to be fun. It has to be fun. If you're not, if not, then you're doing something wrong. It has to be engaging. It has to be interesting. The kids have to enjoy it. The kids, I'm talking again, my 80-year-old kids and my
I understand perfectly.
they're all kids at Centertone. So yeah, they have to enjoy it, and it's a very, very important. It's something that we, as when we hire people, and a lot of the instructors at Centertone are young. Like, actually, I think that now I'm in the older segment of the in terms of our faculty, and a lot of them are kids, you know, that are just fresh out of college or about to finish like music school and stuff like that, and they are so enthusiastic, and they love it, and we make sure that with the people that we hire really loves doing it, and they don't do it because it's the case with some musicians. It is that they teach as a, well, I have to do something, I have to get some money, so I have to teach, right? Some people has that mentality. We curate that when we hire people. We make sure that people that are coming to work with us really love teaching. And after all these years interviewing musicians and being a musician and working with musicians, I know I can very safely say who's doing it because they want to, and who's doing it because it's just a job. So I think that's kind of part of the secret, of the school. We're the owners. Rolando and I are there all the time. We are always monitoring everything. People can talk to us very easily. This is a family-owned business. Again, I both of us look at the emails every single day, and messages. So we know. We may not be in the front office. Mercedes is the person that takes care of that. Mercedes Lopez, she's great. She's been with us for about, I don't know, over 10 years now, I think. But we are always on top of things and looking and seeing and solving problems. Is there ever any problems or anything? We always try to take care of people and make sure that their expectations are met. So I mean, I would say that's important. We are a family-owned business, and we treat it like that.
Great. Hey, Luis, it's been great getting to know you, getting to know Centertone, and how it all started. Thank you so much don't leave yet, but thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Alejandro. Thank you very much.